2 parts was never going to be enough to discuss the secrets of Alton Towers, so here's part 3.
Welcome to Oblivion.
Stand here parallel to the Rita launch are a load of buildings that have been here since the days of Ugland. Some of them actually retain the prints on the roofs of Ugland designing of the dino theme and the prehistoric theme, and it's still there, covered under lots of dirt.
Little references are what make Alton Towers so great, and if you look above the covering of the vending machines, you'll see the name Unit NST, a reference to Nemesis Subterra.
I'm currently standing in the Nemesis pit. There's quite a lot about this ride. First of all, it was designed to be visually pleasing both for the rider and the non-rider. For example, the last version, just over there to my left, it was built at the eye level of the non-rider. Also, the waterfalls used to run red to simulate blood. That was changed because supposedly the chemicals used were affecting the local wildlife. And while I'm here, you can see the queue just behind me up there. There are large parts of the Nemesis queue disused, but a disused part of the queue was reused for Nemesis Subterra. Nemesis was so successful that it spawned 2 separate spin-offs, one being, or more of a sequel, one being Nemesis Inferno, an identical B&M coaster down south, themed around an exploding volcano caused by the Nemesis monster, and then there's Nemesis Subterra. That is themed around the Nemesis monster and discovering more eggs that create more Nemesis monsters. Nemesis Inferno opened in 2003 at Thorpe Park, and Nemesis Subterra opened in 2012 here at Alton Towers. However, since 2015, Nemesis Subterra has been standing but not operating. I'm slightly further down the path between Mutiny Bay and Gloomy Wood than I was before, and it's to tell you something that might be more of interest down here. When the flume was removed, Alton Towers left in the concrete footers that supported the ride, so as not to disrupt the natural woodland. Now, I've been having a hard time finding them, and I think I found one, but I'm not sure. So, if you're ever walking down this path, take a look in the woods, and you never know, you might find one of the footers, the very last remnants of the flume. I'm standing under the first shop of Galactica through the portal while we discuss a few things about the ride. First of all, with the queue, there are large parts of the queue up in the trees and way out that I've gone in before to film from, but now are actually disused. Also, when on the Galactica video, when Eve is discussing about the space transit, there's a subtle reference to the previous ride under the Galactica logo where it says Airspace Technologies. And while we're talking about the Galactica logo, outside Station 1, just after the enclosed tunnel, there is probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest logos for any of the rides on Park. It is absolutely massive. And finally, Eve's eyes were a very, very, very bright blue originally. But this year they have been noticeably toned down so they don't sparkle anymore, which I feel is a bit of a shame because they looked very nice. So I'm on the path between Katana Canyon and Gloomwood, and just behind me over there is part of the dual queue line. It very rarely sees any use because dual is usually always a walk-on.
That part of the queue line has seen use over the years, however. It generally opens up around Scarefest time and has also seen live actors in it during Scarefest when Duel was taken over as Duel Live, which also had actors during the Scarefest. Sadly, this does not happen anymore, but it does still open in Scarefest.
He's a bit scary, isn't he? I'm standing in the Haunted Hollow, part of which used to be part of the old Park Railway, which ran from Mutiny Bay all the way down to Forbidden Valley.
The Park Railway opened in 1953 and closed in 1996. The route was shortened and lengthened across its very long time at the park. Originally, it was the main way to get towards the gardens, with the cable cars opening to complement it. However, this success proved to be its undoing, with the Skyride eventually being the reason for closure. And that brings part 3 of the Secrets of Alton Towers to a close, but there is still more. There's the Smiler, wider X sector, and even stuff on Sharkbait Reef to find out in part 4, which will be coming to the Powers Towers Productions YouTube channel very soon.